In this video, I'm going to show you how to build the ultimate trap base using electricity and the new propane explosive bomb. You will need one small battery, two solar panels, two lights, three electrical branches, one root combiner, one splitter, one laser detector, two door controllers, and one igniter. First, connect both solar panels to the root combiner. Next, connect the combined power output from the root combiner to the battery. Connect the power output from the battery to the first electrical branch for lighting. Then, direct remaining electricity to the second branch for the first door controller. After that, pass electricity to the third branch for the second door controller and laser detector. Finally, connect the laser detector's power output to a splitter, powering the igniter and both door controllers' close ports. This trap base layout is pretty simple. It's a 2x2 design surrounded with high triangle foundations and half walls in the middle that divides the base into two sections. One half is going to be used for the propane explosive bombs, and the second half can be used for your tool cupboard, boxes, sleeping bags, and workbench. The building cost for this base is 2,074 wood, 8,220 stone, and 2,600 metal frags, while the upkeep cost for it is 7 wood, 1,125 stone, and 445 metal frags a day. Well, now that you got the base built, let's get to the deployables. Start by placing down your tool cupboard, storage boxes, sleeping bag, and the main electrical components for the circuit, such as the battery, root combiner, electrical branches, and the splitter. This is where you're going to store the resources needed to reset the trap and all the loot you collect from it. When you hear the propane bombs go off, respawn at the sleeping bag and collect all the goop. You can customize this area however you like. Place more boxes, furnaces, or even a sofa. Just make sure that you place these electrical components in here. For this section, however, start by placing some rugs down, a tier 2 workbench, extra storage, and then place a double sheet metal door. Just make sure that the door opens to the inside of the foundation. If you place it the other way, it will function as an airlock and prevent the players from getting in the trap base. When you're placing a door controller on it, place it facing the inside so it's not visible to other players when the door is open. The main electrical component in this room is the laser detector. That's what activates the trap as soon as a player is detected inside the base. Place it as close to the floor as possible, preferably under the workbench, right next to the box. If you place the workbench and the box in the middle of the foundation, the laser detector's placement will be perfect for the entry door. Customize the rest of the room however you like. Now that we are done with the deployables on this half of the base, let's get to wiring these components. Start by placing down your solar panels. Check online for the best solar panel placement, as there has been a recent update on which direction to face your solar panels as it changes during the wipe. But for the most part, placing them where they face north will be just fine. Connect both power outputs from the solar panels to the root combiner, and connect the combined power out from the root combiner to the power in on the battery, where light blue is the power from the solar panels and dark blue is the combined power out. After that, connect the power out from the battery to the first electrical branch, and connect the power out from the first electrical branch to the power in on the second electrical branch, and then do the same for the third electrical branch. In this case, purple is the power that's coming out from the battery. Now that you got that done, set the first electrical branch to 4, as it will be used for lights, and set the second and third electrical branches to 1, as they will be used to power the door controllers. The next step will be connecting the power out on the third electrical branch to the laser detector. We will mark it as red for both the power in and power out. Once you get that done, connect the power out from the laser detector to the splitter. The laser detector won't send power to the splitter unless a player passes through its beam. Now we can start working on the door controllers. Connect the branch out from the second electrical branch to the power in on the first door controller. Make sure that none of the wires can be seen from the other side. And we will mark it as green for the power in and the close input, on the door controllers. Then, connect the second power out on the splitter to the close input on the door controller. By doing so, every time a player passes through the laser detector's beam, the door will instantly shut close. For the second half of the base, start by placing a sheet metal door, and place a lock and a door controller on it. Make sure that the door opens to the inside of the base. If you place it the other way around, the players will not be able to get inside the trap base. After that, place your ceiling lights above both foundations. The reason we're using lights is because they help with hiding the laser detector's beam at night. Once you get that done, place the igniter in the middle between both foundations under the twig. Start by connecting the first light's power in to the second light's pass through. And then connect the power in on the second light to the first electrical branch. We will mark the wiring for lights as yellow. Next step is going to be connecting the igniter to the first output on the splitter. The igniter's purpose in this circuit is to set the propane explosive bombs off when motion is detected from the laser detector. We will set the wiring for the igniter as orange. Once you're done with that, you can start wiring the second door controller on the entry door. Make sure that none of the wires are visible from the outside. Connect the power in on the door controller to the third electrical branch. Well, you made it. The final step for this circuit is connecting the third and final output on the splitter to the entry's door controller. And now you have a fully functional trap base. Good job. But hold on. Before you celebrate, you should probably set a switch for it unless you want your base to go by mistake. After you have placed a switch, disconnect the power that's coming out from the battery to the electrical branch and connect it to the power in on the switch. Then connect the power out from the switch to the first electrical branch so you can activate and deactivate the trap whenever you want. Once you turned off the switch, place 2 propane explosive bombs in the middle under the twig floors. The reason we are using 2 is because the first one will only break the twig without damaging the player. Then place the second twig floor and hide both floors with rugs. If you leave the twig floors uncovered, then the players might suspect that it's a trap base or shoot the twig out, revealing the propane explosive bombs. The next step will be placing any deployables that you don't mind blowing to pieces. You can place anything down just to make the base less suspicious and more welcoming, if I may say. The last and most important step for this trap base is placing a small wooden box by the wall here. This box is the most important part of the entire build. The main purpose of this box is to hide the laser detector's dot on the wall. If you place it right next to the dot, then it won't be visible from the outside. Well, there you go. You now have the coziest and most effective trap base in Rust. While it's a fun way to blow players up and gain loot, I wouldn't consider this as an efficient trap base. Since it takes 2 propane explosive bombs, a new igniter, 4 rugs, and some deployables each time the trap goes off. And sometimes it might not be worth it. If you build the base in a spawn area, you would be just getting more human flesh and bones. If you want to save a little bit of explosives, you can just trap the players inside until they respawn, or you kill them manually. If you want to see more trap bases and more Rust electricity content, make sure you subscribe and let me know what else you want to see or build.